We've learned about editing notes. Now let's learn about editing automation. Automation can be embedded into a note lane, especially MIDI controller information, or separated out like other reason parameter automation. If we double click on a note clip, we enter edit mode, and we can edit the automation on the automation lanes, like pitch bend here. But if we double click on a reason parameter, like oscillator 1 wave, we can edit right from this window. So how do we edit automation? Well, we can draw in automation using the pencil tool, and it will conform to whatever our snap value is. So we're drawing in at 16th notes. If we change that to quarter notes and draw in automation, you'll see that points are made only at quarter note marks. And there's no reason we can't turn off snap and just draw in automation wherever we feel like it. Now we can select notes with the arrow tool and move them, and we can use the eraser to delete notes, or we can select a note and hit backspace to delete it as well. We can of course select ranges of notes and delete them just by hitting backspace. Now let me undo that. Now don't forget about the inspector. Just like we can use the inspector to edit parameters for specific notes, we can do the same for specific automation nodes. I can raise the value or change the position of this node that I have selected, the black one. I can select a range of notes and use match value, just like I did with notes, to match the specific parameter value, to 19 in this case, or to match the starting position, although why I'd want to do that, I do not know. So match value for position and for parameter value with automation nodes that you've selected. Now just like with note mode, we have cut, copy, and paste, and it works kind of the same way. If I draw in some automation, actually let me do it without snap, and then I select that automation with my arrow tool, copy it with Command C and paste it. You'll notice the cursor moves, and if I press Command V, I'm pasting in automation. Now if I take a look at my pitch bend, one other thing I can show you is option dragging. So if I just click with my pencil tool, I put in nodes at quarter notes because that's what my snap value is. But if I option drag, I can define a range with the same value. So I just drew in 2 ranges by dragging with my mouse and not letting go until I reach the end of the range. Now you may recall from an earlier video that I talked about the importance of setting a default value before you automate a parameter. And this is how we change that default value. For example, let's take a look at LFO1 amounts. Let me scroll down here. There we are. Now we have an automation clip defined for LFO1 amount. When we are outside of that clip, the value of LFO1 amount will be 0. And we know that by looking at this pointer here. But I can change that default value. Let's change it to 80. And now whenever we're outside of a clip, the value will be 80. Let's take a look. We're outside the clip right now. Here's our LFO1 amount in our subtractor. It's set to 80. We can see that. And if I play the song, you'll see the automation takes effect, but when the clip ends, it goes back to 80. So that's why it's so important to set a default value for the parameters before you start automating, and you can always change them